Is Kerry, and we're going to start our practice by finding an easy, comfortable seat. So find your seat on your mat, and your option here, everybody needs a block for partial class, part of our class today, is to sit on your block if you like. That elevates your hips, allows for more space in the hip area to relax the knees open, but whatever's comfortable for you. Sukhasana is that cross-legged position. So I will join you for Sukhasana, cross-legged, or you could be kneeling, straight-legged. Once you find your seat, close your eyes down. Bring your hands to relax, wherever that is. Palms down is rooting and grounding you. That's an option. And begin to find your focus just on your breath and how it feels this morning. Easy, natural breath. However you normally breathe right now is how I want you to breathe. Become aware of your breath. Become aware of your mind, meaning let go of everything you did before you came into your practice today, and anything you need to do later, and be present. Yoga is that connection between mind, body, and breath, those three things. And as you breathe, I want you to begin to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And you're sighing it out with a little bit of effort. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And find a lift from your tailbone, through the sacrum, low back, upper back, and continue that breath. I want you to hear your breath. It's smooth, a little bit long. If there's an intention here to the exhalation, releasing and letting go. Your next inhale, and then exhale through the nose. I'd like you to just seal your lips lightly and continue that nasal breath. Continue to lift your spine. Relax the face. Relax the jaw. So you naturally continue with this breath. You naturally close the back of your throat so you can breathe through the nose and not your mouth. And this is our Ujjayi breath in Sanskrit. It means victorious breath. It also is called nasal breath or maybe oceanic breath because it sounds like the ocean. So you can find this breath to glide you through your practice, to help you find that strength and focus. And just return to your natural breath. But continue breathing in and out through the nose. Just a little difference in the length and the focus on the breath. If you would like to find an intention for your practice today, just bring the hands to heart center into prayer. So they're lightly touching your chest area, your thumbs are near the sternum, and Anjali Mudra. This hand gesture of focusing at your heart center. If you would like to pick a devotion or an intention, to sankalpa, for anything, anyone, or even just for yourself today. On your next inhalation, bring that intention into your mind. And on your exhale through your nose, let it settle into your heart, like a seed that you're planting for your practice. And together we will Om, and this sound is Ah, O, M. It's actually 3 sounds in one, signifying Father, Son, Spirit, or past, present, future, or sky, earth, and the underworld. But really it's the universal sound. So you'll feel free to join me, or just in your mind you can Om. So take an inhale to prepare and sigh it out. And then in breath and Om together. So inhale. Flutter the eyes open, release the hands down. Let's find ourselves in tabletop. So if you're on a block, place it off to the side where you can reach it. Tabletop is that position. It looks like a tabletop. Your hips are over your knees, your wrists are directly under your elbows and shoulders, so they're stacking up the joints. tabletop. And on an inhalation, I'd like you to just lift your chin and chest and look my direction, looking up. And then exhale and tuck in the tailbone, the navel, and the chin to chest. And this is cat pose. Inhale again, tip your tailbone up, sway your back softly, lift your chin and chest. This is our cow pose. So 2 more of these on your own pace. Exhale, cat. Think of a frightened cat. Press into your hands. Inhale, cow. Soften your belly, tailbone tips up, chin away from the chest, open the heart center. And find 1 more in each direction. And then let's meet back at tabletop. All in all fours. Step your hands about a length, 1 more hand length in front of you. Give yourself a little space here. So you should be at the top of your mat if you need to make some space. And tuck your toes. On an exhalation, you're going to lift your knees just a few inches off the mat so you're crouching. Lift your hips, lift your knees, and then press your tailbone to the sky. Lengthen your arms and find your downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Move away from your wrists. Let's press into the thumb, the pointer finger, and the middle finger, and make sure that your fingertips are pointing to the front of the room. And you can walk your dog here, or pedal your feet out. You should have your gaze between your 2 feet. And you should feel your ears about near your shoulder, or near your arms, your upper arms. And then let's hold our downward facing dog. Tailbone to the sky. Press the back of your legs towards the back of the room. Inhale your right hand up, right leg up and back. And exhale, bring that right leg in between your 2 hands at the front of your mat. So you're stepping it through. And you're lowering your left knee and the top of your left foot down. On an inhalation, sweep your arms up and overhead to a low lunge, Anjaneyasana. You can look up if you like. On your exhale, bring your hands back down to frame your foot. And you're going to straighten that right leg. So as you straighten the leg, let the heel glide forward just a little bit. It's not your hamstring that we're working with here. So as you glide your leg out, your hands for balance, chin towards your chest, forehead towards your knee. Feel this behind your extended leg. Find your breath. Not about sitting back on your heel. And as you inhale and you return to bringing the sole of your foot down and the bend back into your knee. Bring your right arm to the sky and look to your right in an open arm twist. Nice. Press into that front foot. Exhale your hand down to the mat. And then step that right foot back to downward facing dog once again. So find what's a comfortable distance for you to feel opening behind your legs, extending your arms, coming out of your wrists. As we move on to our second side. Inhale your left leg up and back. Step it through to between your both hands. Top of the mat, or somewhere with space. Lower your back knee down, top of the foot down, low lunge. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Follow your breath. Exhale your hands back to the mat. Straighten your front leg, let the heel glide away, and bring your toes towards your shin. You can flex that foot to increase the sensation. And then coming back, so bring the sole of the foot down, rebend the knee, and open arm twist to the left. Your right hand stays down, your left arm sweeps up, open the chest. Press into your right foot, or your left foot, the one that's at the top of the mat. And exhale, lower your hands down, frame your front foot, step back to your downward facing dog. Feel the length you're creating in your spine. You can give yourself a little yes or no nod of your head gently. Your feet should be hip distance apart. And let's lower down to our knees, coming to tabletop once again. Untuck your toes. Point your big toes towards each other. They don't have to touch. Walk your knees a little wide. We're coming to child's pose, Balasana. Set your hips back towards your heels, your forehead towards the earth. Coming down on your mat with your forehead. If your forehead does not touch, you can stack 1 or 2 fists. We're here for a few breaths. You can always come to child's pose anytime that you would like to take a break in your practice, or just allow yourself a brief little time to settle in. spine. You might think the last time you saw a baby fall asleep like this, of course their hands were probably like under them. Inhale, and let's come forward to tabletop, glide forward, and find yourself sitting on your back side. You're going to sit on your mat, face the front of the room, and find your block. Once you're here on your back, I want you to lower down so your knees are bent, your feet are on the floor on your mat, and center yourself on your mat. There you go. Make sure you're comfortable as you can be this morning. Find your block. Your feet should be hip distance apart. Your block's going to come between your thighs, midway between your knees and your hips. It can be the skinny way, real skinny, or just the halfway. Just want to feel that you're holding the block there, placing it there. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Opening the chest. Now let's lift the feet off the mat and come to what would be like a chair pose, so your shins are parallel to the ground. Flex your feet, toes towards your shins. And when you're here, you can stay here if you're honoring your low back, or you can extend your legs up to the sky. So you choose which position feels best for you today. Inhale, squeeze the block. Exhale, round your shoulders and your chest off of the mat, so lifting up. Inhale to center, lowering down. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Lifting and rounding off the mat with your chest coming up and shoulders. Nice. Inhale when you lower. A couple more. Exhale as you lift. Inhale down to the mat. And let's find one more. Lift. And then when your shoulders touch down and your elbows touch down, bring the soles of your feet down in that same bent knee position. And the soles of the feet come to the mat and feel the block. Release your hands off to the sides, palms facing down, maybe off the mat just a little bit, have some space there. On an inhale, press into your feet and rise your hips off of the mat. Press into the feet. Hips and spine round up. Gazing up to the sky. Drawing around that block. Feel the glutes engage. Exhale, lowering all the way down. Follow your breath. So find yourself rounding down. Press into your feet. Inhale for the second one. And rise up. Press up, lift up, lengthen. Exhale as you lower down. Let's do two more. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. On this last one, I want you to hold it up. Inhale, lift, and hold it for 3 breaths. Feel all the energy, press it especially into your big toe mound, the 4 corners of your feet. Think of that last bridge you crossed over, wherever that may have been. And exhale as you lower down. Take the block off and place it off to the side. And allow your feet to just walk a little wider on the mat. Bring the hands out to the side, just a little further away, and windshield wiper. So the knees both drop to one side and follow your breath. You inhale, come up, and just allow your own pace. Exhale to the second side. And we'll meet back in the center after one more each side. In the center, here you can rock and roll up if you have a healthy back, or you can roll yourself to one side and press yourself on up. And come onto all fours. Tabletop. So in our tabletop position here, make sure that your hips are over your knees. And make sure that your wrists are just a little in front of your shoulders. Coming into our bird dog. So in bird dog, we're going to extend the right arm long in front, and your thumb is pointing up like you're shaking someone's hand. Reach in front. On an exhale, extend your left leg behind and lengthen out. Find your balance. Flex your back foot. You can lower the toes down if you need on that back foot. You're reaching in opposite directions. Gaze to the mat. Feel your breath. It could be that Ujjayi breath, but feel your breath. Pressing to the back of the room. On an exhale, draw your left knee into your right elbow in front of you. So drawing in, rounding and curling in. Inhale, extend out. Bird dog. Flex your back foot. Exhale, draw in. Meet your right elbow, left knee at the chest area. Inhale on the way out. Let's draw it in one more time. Exhale on the way out. Inhale on the way out. And place your hand down and your knee down and changing sides. Make sure your hands are not underneath your body, but a little bit in front of your shoulders for balance here. And there's hip distance between knees and also between your hands. Extend your left arm long, right leg long. It should feel like your hips are square to the earth. You'll notice if you're lifting one of them, flex your back foot. Reach in those directions in front and behind. For a few breaths here, it's balance, it's strength, lengthening. On an exhalation, draw your left elbow to your right knee. Round in, nice. Inhale and extend, lengthen. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, lengthen and extend. And find one more. And lower down. Nice. And let's find child's pose. So knees can go wide if you like. Point your toes to each other and lower your hips back towards your heels at any level that feels good for you. Just a pause here. Feel your breath on the back side of your body. And so, let's bring ourselves back up, rise up, and we're going to come back onto our backs one more time. So make your way to your back, any way you can, without the block this time. Your back, upper back and low back on the floor, feet on the floor. Interlace your fingers once again behind your head. Just for a little repeat of some of what we just did, with a little variation on it. Again, lift your feet so your shins are parallel to the floor. Pressing the low back down. On an exhalation, you're going to bring your right elbow to your left knee. So exhale as you lift up, draw it. Inhale as you lower down. Take the opposite. Left elbow, right knee. It's a bicycle, it's a yoga bicycle. So exhale as you come up and be right elbow, left knee. Inhale down. Exhale, curling up. Inhale, finding the mat, and you can extend the opposite leg as you're riding this yoga bicycle. And find one more each side. And after that last one, bring the soles of your feet down. Release your arms out to the side. Finding one more bridge so your feet should feel hip distance apart. We're going to root through the feet, especially the big toe mound. And the hands can be right next to your sides or a little bit out. On an inhale, you press into your feet and rise up. And we're here for a few breaths. So feel the length in your spine. Keep your gaze to the sky. Feel your glutes. Imagine how blocks between your thighs and feel your knees drawing towards each other. Very nice. And inhale on the way down. Just find your breath all the way back down. Draw your knees into your chest and give them a hug. You can rock and roll a little bit if it feels good on your spine, just a gentle movement to stimulate. You can rock and roll yourself up, or you can roll to one side and press yourself on out. Nice. So come onto your knees, please. Tabletop. Have the hands just slightly in front of the shoulders. So walk your hands out a little bit here. Find the length of your mat. We're going to return to downward dog. Tuck your toes and press yourself up. Tailbone to the sky. Lengthen your spine. Feel your thumb, index finger, middle finger. Move your body away from your wrists. You can come to your tiptoes and lift your heels. Make it your pose. Some people can actually rest in this pose. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. Exhale, step or float to the top of your mat. So bring yourself all the way to the top and find that halfway lift. So hands on the shins, flat back, crown of the head points to the front of the room. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees deeply. Let your hands touch the mat. Press into your feet. Inhale as you sweep your arms up and overhead, rise all the way up. Reach up, lift up, and exhale your hands to prayer at your heart center. Release your hands out to the sides. Tadasana. In Tadasana, look down at your feet. So you're having your feet about hip distance apart. Try to square the outside edge of the feet with the edges of your mat. I know yours is shorter than mine because mine is a different direction. But just square your feet. This is Tadasana, mountain pose. You can soften a little bit. So your palms might face away or they might face your body. Everyone's shoulders are a little different. So watch me as I demo Sun C. So watch and then I'll guide you through. Sun Salutation 3, Surya Namaskar C. Root through your feet. Press down as you rise up. Inhale as you reach up. And you exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, hands touch the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening the spine. The crown of the head points far away. And exhale your hands down to the mat. Knees are bent. Step your right foot back, knee down, top of the foot untucks. And inhale into your low lunge. And exhale, hands to the mat. And you step your second leg back. So you come into a high push-up position or plank position. And feel, again, stacking shoulders, elbows, and wrists. As we lower down, the option is to come to your knees. I'm going to show that option. And lowering down, maybe in the knees, otherwise the chest and forehead, and then the hips come down. Walk your hands back slightly, top of the feet down. Inhale the chin away from the chest. Lifting the chest, shoulders back and down, cobra. Tuck your toes and press back to your tabletop through a downward facing dog. Same side that we started with, you raise the right leg, your right leg, and place it through. Lower your opposite knee, untuck, inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to the mat, and stepping the back foot to meet the front with some space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, upward salute, and exhale, hands to prayer. That's half of one round. So we'll be doing that to create energy and build strength and salute the sun. So Sun Salutation C. Find your Tadasana pose at the top of your mat. Root and ground through your feet. On an inhalation, maybe soften the knees a little. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up and overhead. Look up if you like. Exhale, forward fold. Touch the mat with your fingers. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the shins, flatten the back. Exhale your hands to the mat and step your right foot back, right knee down. Untuck your toes. And on inhale, coming to low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Nice. Feel your breath. Exhale your hands to the mat. Step your left foot to the back of the mat and find your push-up position. Hips and shoulders about the same height. Nice. Stack your joints, shoulders, elbows, and wrists. On an exhale, lowering to your knees if you like, or lowering all the way down. So lowering all the way down, it's either knees and then chest and forehead. And walk your hands back an inch or two maybe, so they're along middle ribs. Top of the feet flat. Inhale, rise your chest and your chin up. Shoulders back and down, press into the top of your feet, cobra. Exhale, as you lower your forehead and then come back into tabletop, press through to downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up and back. And then step it through to between your two hands. Lower your left knee down. Top of your left foot down. Inhale, rise up to your low lunge. And exhale your hands back down to the mat. Inhale, step your left foot to the front of the mat. Halfway lift. Flatten your back. Exhale, forward fold. Both hands to the mat. Inhale, root to rise. Root through your feet, rise up. Sweep up, look up. Upward salutes. Exhale, hands to prayer to your heart center, and release right back into Tadasana, your mountain pose. Root through the base of your feet, your mountain. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead, going to the second side. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge at your hips, bend your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on the shins. Exhale, hands to the mat, step your left leg back, your left toes back, your knee down, untuck your toes. And on an inhale, sweep up, lift up, low lunge. Anjaneyasana. Exhale your hands to the mat. Step your right foot back and find your push-up position or plank position. Your exhale lowers you down. Option is the knees, all the way. Cobra. So you come down, walk your hands back just a little bit to your middle ribs. Inhale, lift your chin and chest. Press it to the top of your feet, shoulders back and down. Exhale, bringing your forehead down, pressing back to tabletop, and then downward facing dog. You can always stay in tabletop if you need a pause. Look to the front of your mat. Inhale your left leg up and back. Step it through to between your both hands. Lower your right knee, untuck your right toes. Find your low lunge. Nice. Smile. Exhale your hands to the mat. Step your right foot to the front of the mat, so both feet are at the front, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms out to the sides or in front, all the way up, upward salute. Exhale, hands to prayer is Samastiti and mountain pose, hands to the sides. That was one round. We got one more to go. Breath, very important. So that was that inhale and exhale. Any pause you might need in a tabletop or a child's pose. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Feel your bend at your waist. Hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. And step your right leg, right toes back, right knee down, untuck. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat. And step the left foot back. Meet at your push-up position or plank position. Exhale, lowering all the way down. Find the top of the feet flat. And to inhale, rise the chin away from your chest, cobra. Shoulders move away. Heart opens. Exhale, lowering the head, tucking your toes, coming back to downward facing dog. You can always walk your dog out a little here. You've got breath. Work with that. Inhale, rise your right leg up and back. Exhale, step it through to between both hands. Lower your left knee, untuck your toes. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower the hands down. And this time we step the back foot through to meet the front. So step it forward, top of the mat, halfway lift. Hands to shins, nice. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, root to rise. Root through your feet, rise your hands up, lift up, look up. Hands to prayer, to your heart center, Samastiti. Exhale all the way down to Tadasana. Last side for safety. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, the hands to the mat. Step your left foot back, knee down, untuck your toes as you rise up to your low lunge. Now, and exhale your hands to the mat. Take your right foot back, so we come into our push-up or high plank position. Feel your breath. Exhale, lower all the way down. Untuck your toes. Move your hands back an inch or two. Cobra. Inhale, lift your chin and chest. Move the shoulders back and down. Create space in your heart center. Exhale, lowering the forehead down, coming back through to tabletop or downward facing dog. Press back. You can lower your heels towards the ground, but it's not about touching your heels all the way to the ground. This is what some people think this is a resting pose right here, but other people think this is a challenge. So give yourself a little breath, a little shaking of the head, a little movement for the thighs to move to the back of the room. Inhale your left leg up and back. Exhale, step it through to between your two hands. Lower your right knee, untuck your toes, low lunge. Lift up. Anjaneyasana. Exhale your hands to the mat. And step your right foot back up the front of the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Root to your feet, rise your arms up, salute, lift. Exhale, hands to prayer and to your heart center. And mountain pose. Take an inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth with a sigh. Okay. In mountain pose, it should feel like you're relaxed, so you don't have to come all the way open or in, but find your natural, neutral position. Check where your feet are at. We're going to meet in downward dog again, so inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. And exhale, find your forward fold. You bend your knees. And we'll step the coming to crescent lunge, so you can keep that back knee lifted. For balance, you may need to lower it, you choose. On an inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Press into your front foot, press your heel away, so just the ball of the foot is where you're feeling the back. Can you straighten your back leg? Front knee stays over the ankle. And we're going to revolve here. So your left arm is going to sweep to the back of the room, the right arm to the front. You're going to look to your left. It's an open arm twist. Keep the eyes open. Inhale, coming back to the mat in downward facing dog. Meet your, both hands come down. Step your left foot back and with the right. Pedal out your dog. Lift the right leg, your right leg, foot back. Step it through to between your both hands. Keep your left heel lifted. So the front knee doesn't pass the ankle. Be kind to your knee and press through the ball of your back foot. Keep the knee lifted. Inhale and rise up, lift up. Crescent lunge. On your second side. Your feet are a little further apart. It's easier if they're very close in. It's a shorter base. Inhale, lift up. Straighten your back leg. And then exhale, reach your right hand to the back, left hand to the front, and turn to the right. So you're finding your open arm twist, breathing, smiling. Everybody smile. Good. Try to straighten that back leg. Inhale, rise back up in front. Sweep both arms back, crescent lunge. Exhale, lower your hands to the mat. Step your right foot back, so you come into plank once again. So as we exhale down, slowly lower all the way down. Option, come to your knees. Lower down, turn your head to one side. Release your hands to your sides. Palms facing down. Point your big toes to each other. On an inhale, bring your forehead or chin straight ahead and lift your hands and shoulders and chest up. So lifting everything up. Option, lift your feet, point your big toes to each other. Find your Ujjayi breath. Gaze down to the mat or just slightly in front, like you're flying. Very nice. Locust pose, Salambhasana. Exhale, lower all the way down. Turn your head to the second side, just for balance. Rotate your palms to face up. Feel the difference in the shoulder rotation. Hands can move away from the body just a little. And then we'll meet back in downward dog. Bring your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes, press yourself back to downward facing dog. Hips to the sky, tailbone to the sky. Move away from your wrist. Lengthen your spine. Maybe rise your heels. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. Exhale, step or float. Any which way you can get to the top and halfway lift. Exhale your hands to the mat, Uttanasana. Forward fold. Deeply bend your knees. Let your thighs come towards your chest. Let them come together. Root to rise. Inhale. Rise all the way up. Lift up, look up. Hands to prayer. Samasthiti, hands to heart center. Exhale to mountain pose. And I'm going to demo sun salutation A. So you all get to breathe for a minute, and I'll demo it once. So it's a shorter sun salutation. In sun A, we come to the top of the mat, and those feet are a distance apart. Rooting and grounding through your feet. You press into the feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead, and exhale your forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale as your hands come down. You step little steps, or maybe you hop if that's in your practice, to the back of the mat, and you lengthen out, stacking shoulders, elbows, and wrists. And coming to the balls of your feet, you're going to glide forward just slightly. Option to lower to the knees if you like, and I will demo that. Or you can keep your legs straight. So as you lower down, your elbows come to your side body. They tuck in halfway down. Your knees come down, or you stay straight, and you straighten your arms, flip your feet. Upward facing dog, you lift, or you can keep your knees down. Or you can gaze straight ahead. Be kind to your neck. Tuck your toes and return to your downward dog. And that option of walking it out here, you have a few breaths. Or maybe you come a little closer with your feet, rise your heels. Inhale, look to the top of your mat, and exhale, hop. Just take little steps, come to the top of your mat to your half lift, and forward fold. And inhale, upward salute. And then hands to heart center. So join me. We'll enjoy 3 of these. Please follow your breath. Your feet hip distance apart in Tadasana, your mountain pose. Root to rise, root and ground, the base of your mountain. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale your hands to the mat and step back to your high push-up or plank position. Ball of your feet is where you want to be connecting. You're going to glide forward just a little bit over your wrist. Keep your hips a little shoulder height. And exhale halfway down, lowering the knees if you choose. Elbows tuck in. Upward dog. Untuck your toes. Lift your chest, straighten your arms. Chest rises, shoulders back and down. That's your inhale. Opening the chest. Exhale, tuck your toes. And press back tabletop or downward dog. Take a break if you need it. Here for 3 breaths. Can you lengthen that space from the crown of your head to your tailbone? Can you see the space between your feet? Spread your feet. Shake your tail if you're a downward dog. Inhale, lift to the top of your mat. Exhale, step or jump to the top of your mat into your halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Bring your hands together into prayer at your heart center. Release your hands out to the side. Root to rise through your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Really reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale your hands to the mat. Step or jump back to your high push-up position. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Glide forward slightly. Exhale halfway down, elbows tucked to side body. Untuck your toes. Find your upward facing dog or cobra, lowering all the way down. Chest rises, shoulders move away. And then flip your dog, so you tuck your toes and press your hips up to the sky. Find your downward dog. 3 breaths. Feel your Ujjayi breath. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, float or jump or step. Any way you can get there. Halfway lift. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, sweep your arms up, overhead. Samastiti, hands to prayer to your heart center. One more time we flow through. Release your hands out to the sides. Inhale, sweeping up and overhead. Urdhva Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale your hands to the mat. Make your way back so you're in that position of a push-up. Or high plank. Balls of your feet is where I'd like you to be. Glide forward just slightly. Exhale, halfway down. Tuck the elbows. Inhale, upward dog. Flip the feet so you're pressing the top of the feet. Knees can rise or knees can stay down, or cobra. And exhale as you return to your downward facing dog. Tuck your toes. Press up. 3 breaths. Yes, yes nod, no nod. Maybe make circles with your hips. Let it all come out right now. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. And exhale as you come to the top of your mat. Make your way up to the top. And find yourself in Uttanasana in that nice downward position, thighs near your chest. Bend your knees deeply here. Feel your breath. We're going to make peace fingers with our both hands. Step your feet a little wider, so I'd like your feet to come a little wider. You can flatten your back a little here. Flatten your back a little so you rise up a bit, and have your feet just a little wider than they were earlier. That's nice. Make your peace fingers. It's So your pointer and middle finger, you're creating a hook, and you're gonna place it and wrap it around that space between your big toe and your second toe. So nice little tight hook. Try to really get the base of your fingers there, and your thumb is gonna press on top of your big toenail, pressing down. Press into your feet, root into your feet. Bend your knees deeply, really bend, very good. And then come halfway up with your knees bent, flatten your back, so you feel that stretch. And then let the crown of your head lower down. Let your elbows draw out to your right and left side walls. Take some bend out of your legs. Hand to big toe pose. Crown of your head is coming towards the earth. Move your shoulders up and away from the earth. So create space between ears and shoulders and breathe. You're here for a few more breaths. You're pressing into your feet with your hand, your thumbnail, and you're lifting up, so opposite directions. Feel that engagement. Slowly release. Bend your knees deeply, so your hands are both free now. I want you to walk your big toes to point to each other, and maybe touch. So now we're doing a little bit of moving, be mindful. And there's about an inch between your heels. Inhale, sweeping the arms up and sinking your hips back and down to chair pose, Utkatasana. Knees pressed towards each other. Big toes are moving like a little bit of pigeon toeing. And you can gaze up. Okay. Nice. So feel that you're trying to sit in a chair, but I'd like you to be able to see your toes, so maybe you need to rise up a little more. It's not about how deep you go. It's about feeling that engagement. Take an inhale. Exhale, release everything down. Your hands down, press into your feet and rise up. Mountain pose. It's called awkward pose. Utkatasana. And we're going to move into our final sun salutation, sun B. And we start in this pose that you are currently in. So you can have your feet a little wider, meaning hip distance, or you can bring them traditionally, big toes point to each other, and there's space between your heels, creating your triad, your base. So we'll start in sinking down into mountain pose. And I'm not demoing this one. I'm going to walk you through it. Keep the eyes open. That helps with your breathing. So as you point your big toes to each other, and you're kind of pigeon-toed looking right now, very nice. They don't have to touch. Take an inhale. Exhale, sink into your chair with your backside and reach your arms up and overhead in the salute position. Chair pose. Press your knees together. Here's where you have that center line connection. And exhale, forward fold. Hands to the mat, still bending the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to the shins, flatten your back. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Step your right foot, big step back. Spin your heel down and the sole of your foot down, 45-degree angle, coming to warrior one. So your heels do not line up in warrior one. Move your foot a little to the right side of your mat. Have a nice base. Keep the bend in the front knee. And on an inhale, you're going to rise up. Both arms come up to upward salute. Front knee is bent over your ankle. Try not to pass your ankle. This is important for knee stability, to stay in line. Knee over ankle or a little behind. Shoulders square to me, to the front of the room. Palms face each other. All the warrior poses build strength and balance. Smile. Exhale your hands down to the mat. Step your left foot back, find your high plank. Now you get to create your own flow here. We've done a few. Exhale, chaturanga, where your elbows tuck, or you just lower all the way down and come to cobra. You can halfway lower and inhale, lift the chest up to upward dog, or you take a cobra. They're both a back bend. And then find yourself back in downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, press your tailbone to the sky. Very nice. Walk your dog, shake your head, move away from your wrist. Inhale your right leg up and back. And you exhale, step it through, place it between both hands. Spin your left heel down. Left foot is at a 45-degree angle, and it's more towards the left side of your mat. Find your base. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead, root and ground through your back leg. That bend in the front knee. Soften a little. Nice. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1 on your second side. Feel your breath. Exhale your hands down to the mat. Step your right foot back. Find your flow. So you're going to lower it down either halfway or all the way. all the way is coming to cobra. Halfway you come into your upward dog. Top your feet down, straighten your arms, lift the chin and chest. Feel your breath. Tuck your toes and coming back to downward facing dog. If you want to break, child's pose or tabletop. Walk the dog here. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. Exhale, make your way to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale your forward fold. Utkatasana, awkward position, chair position again. So your big toes maybe point to each other, maybe your knees touch. Sink your hips, rise your arms, and smile. Chair pose, a lot of strength here, a lot of quad work. Look forward or look as much as you can forward. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale, let everything go. The hands come down, stand tall. Come back to your mountain pose. So much fun. We're going to do that again. And we're going to do it with what we call eagle arms when we're doing the warrior portion. Feel where you're grounding and rooting, especially when you're stabilizing the lower body and moving the upper body. Find your chair pose. Let me see your chair pose. Inhale, rise the hands, point your knees to each other, toes to each other. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Oh yeah. Bring your hands back to the mat and step your right foot back. Big step coming to warrior one. The heel spins down, the foot is out to the right side a little bit, and you rise your hands up. Upward salute with the hands. Check you can see your second and third toe. The knee is not in the way of your vision, otherwise you move back a little. Press through the pinky edge of your back foot. That's your grounding leg. Sweep your arms out like the letter T, palms facing down. So out to the sides, right and left side of the room. Square your shoulders to me, to the front, chin up, like you're all flying. Straighten the back leg and take your weight to the back. So you stay out of that front knee. You're going to cross in front. You're going to sweep both hands in front, left elbow under the right, crisscross. Left under right. Let the back of your forearms meet as you bend your elbows, and maybe this is where you stay, or maybe you complete your wrap, or maybe when you're here you take your hands to your shoulders, if you're honoring your shoulders. So here, and please breathe. Drishti gaze, just looking straight ahead. And now, exhale, let your eagle fly, return back to warrior one. Nice. Warrior one, hands up. Bend in the front knee. And exhale, lower the hands to the mat. Take your left leg back, find your high plank push-up position, find your flow. Exhale, halfway down, tuck the elbows in, upward dog from here, or cobra, where you lower all the way down and just lift a lower position. This is your inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Tuck your toes, press it back up. Walk your dog. Feel your breath. Tailbone to the sky. Maybe bend both your knees, so it's a little bit of a crouch, and lift the heels, and then send your tailbone to the sky. It should feel like lengthening your spine. Rise your right leg up and back. Plant your right foot between your two hands. Spin your left heel down. Create a nice base so your foot's a little closer to the edge of the mat, not lining your heels up. 45-degree angle of your back foot. You all look great. Inhale, rise up. Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Bending the front knee enough so you stack the knee over the ankle. Pressing through your back foot. And then find your eagle arms on this side. Extend palms down out to the side, like a letter T. This time the right goes under the left. So sweeping across, then bend your elbows, bring the back of the forearms in the direction of each other, the back of the hands towards each other, and you may stay here. Lift your elbows a little bit, a little higher near the shoulders so you're feeling the upper back. Move the hands away just a little, more upper back action. Now when you let your eagle fly, exhale, let it go and come rise back up. Release your hands down to the mat, step back to your flow. Right foot back, find your flow. Go all the way down in cobra, or halfway down chaturanga, and come to upward facing dog. Press into the top of your feet. Smile. Exhale as you come back to downward dog. It's your dog, so take a few little movements here that you feel are helpful for today. you're shaking your head, just do it really nicely, unwinding through the neck. Be gentle. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. Exhale, step, or just, float up there. Halfway lift. Exhale, come to Uttanasana, forward fold. Walk your big toes to each other one more time. So pigeon toe a little. Create your base. Heels are a little bit apart, a little wider than your big toes. Bend your knees deeply. Utkatasana chair. Sink your hips down. Rise your arms up. Your chair pose. This time looking towards the front. We're going to do open arm twist to the right. Right arm goes back. Left arm comes in front. Reach in opposite directions. Press your knees to each other. Inhale, rise back to center. Utkatasana in the middle. If it's challenging, come a little higher. If you feel like it's wobbly, make your base up a little bit higher. Exhale to your second side. Left hand to the back of the room, right hand at the front. Excuse me. Knees pressed to each other. Inhale as you come back to your salute in front. Exhale your hands to your sides and find yourself standing in mountain pose. Whew. Awkward pose, I know. It's a position we all just love or we hate. Mountain pose. All right, take an inhale and sigh out your exhale. Yep. So let's find a forward fold. You can have your feet just traditional, hip distance apart, and round forward, coming all the way into that folded position with your hands on the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands on the shins, flatten your back, and your gaze down so it feels like the back of your head and your tailbone at the same level. And lengthen your spine. Crown of your head moving to me, towards the front of the room. Because I can't leave my mat. I'm just kidding. Exhale, forward fold. Step back to plank. Find your plank position. We are going to lower all the way down. You can chaturanga all the way down, halfway, and then continue all the way down, or just lower all the way down. Turn your head to one side. Let the palms face up. Oh, yummy. Relax your hands. Point your big toes to each other. We are returning to locust pose, Salambhasana, in a moment. But find your breath first. How does it feel for you right here? Point your big toes to each other. They do not have to touch. This is a hip position. There's a rotation. Should be comfortable. Rotate your palms to face down now. And like an airplane, you're going to rise. But you just rise the upper body at first and see how it is. Chin and forehead down, and then rise up. Don't rise your chin up too far that you crank your neck. So you're looking down, and you're lifting up. Reach your fingertips for the back of the room. If you want, rise your feet. But point your toes to each other. Feel that engagement, and most important, your breath. Ujjayi breath. Exhale, lower down, rotate your head to that second side. Turn your hands to your palms face up. Or wherever you're comfortable with your neck. We're going to return to a downward facing dog. So if you would like a break, you can just go back to child's or tabletop. Otherwise, tuck your toes, put your hands under your shoulders, press your hips to the sky, downward dog. Now we're going to meet in tabletop. Lower your knees, untuck your toes, and find a forearm plank position. And when you hear that means your forearms are down, your palms are down, your fingertips face forward, your shoulders are over your elbows. Or you can interlace your fingers and clasp them in front of you. So you interlace your fingers and you have that nice clasp, either way. And make sure your elbows are under the shoulders. So maybe walk them in just slightly. Bring them in a little here. Good. Tuck your toes. We're coming to dolphin pose. So you tuck the toes, and just like you do in a downward dog, lift your knees and press your tailbone to the sky. Or if you're a dolphin, your dorsal fin. Oh, that's a shark. Straighten your legs. And do not let the crown of your head push into the mat. So the knees are lifted, and you're pressing into your elbows. And you're pressing your elbow and wrist area down. You can walk your feet a little more towards you if you like to feel that difference. It's lengthening. Heels can lift, knees can slightly bend. dolphin pose. So it's a modified downward facing dog. And slowly lower your knees down, untuck your toes, release your hands if they're clasped. We're gonna come back to your version, whatever that is, of a child's pose. Knees can be closer together, or if you enjoy that wide position, take your knees wide. Forehead is supported by the earth. So it's not about tail to your tailbone to your heels as much as relaxing and support. You can walk your hands far away if you like, and tent your fingertips. That means think about playing the piano. So you lift your palms and you lift your wrists, or you think about itsy bitsy spiders. And all your fingers are lifted except for the tip of your fingers. Just the pads. There you go. Lift elbows high, lengthen your arms. Just an option. Feel that engagement here. This is your little reset. Inhale and rise yourself back to that tabletop position. Come to downward facing dog. Tailbone high, lengthen your legs, lengthen your spine. Step or walk to the front of your mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Nice. Walk your feet a little bit wider so they're not hip, but a little bit wider than that. We're coming to hand under foot pose, so you're gonna stay in this bent knee position and keep a bend in your knees, soft in the legs, soft in the neck. I want you to take your palms to face up and slide your hands one at a time or just underneath your feet so that your toes are resting on your pad of the palm of your hand, and the top of your toes is kind of tickling at your wrist. So your hand is under your foot as much as you can, and you release your thumbs. They do not go underneath. Your pointer finger is maybe running along the arch. Keep the bend in your knees and half lift. So lift and flatten your back. Feel that length. Exhale, let your head hang. Let your elbows be straight. You're straightening your legs a little bit. Lengthen, so straighten the legs a bit. Press into your hands. And draw your ears away from your shoulders. Or your shoulders away from your ears. Here we go, right here. Shoulders come up and away. So you're pulling in opposite direction. Press into your hands with your feet and pull up with your arms. Feel that engagement. Let the crown of your head point towards the ground. Yes. So there's a natural relaxation in the neck, except for that the shoulders are moving away. Bend your knees and release your hands. Walk your feet a little closer together. And round up this time. So root through your feet and roll up slowly. Chin away from the chest last. We come into our warrior twos next. So take a breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. All the warrior poses build strength and balance, and keep your eyes open. Help with your breath. Hip distance apart at the front of your mat. Have some space here. You're going to step your right foot far to the back of your mat and align your right heel up with your left heel. So this is important for the arch of your back foot. This is, yeah. And your left foot continues to point to the front, and your right foot, your toes point to the right wall. Well, if you can manage that, or you can have a little bit of a 45, but straighten your back leg. At the bend in your front knee, bring your arms up so your left arm reaches over your left leg. Your right arm reaches over your back leg there. And your gaze is over your left middle finger. Right knee does not pass your right ankle. Be kind. You straighten the back leg, very straight and strong. Press into the knife edge of your back foot. Relax your shoulders down. So you're reaching with intention, but shoulders are relaxed. And your gaze is a drishti gaze, a focus gaze over your right or left middle finger. You can look over right, but you can look in the back of the room. Every breathing, this is your warrior Virabhadrasana 2. We're going to reverse that warrior by relaxing the back hand down, rolling the front palm up, and inhale, lift up and sweep up to the sky, looking straight up. Maybe a little bit of an angle, but breathe. You can look up, you can look to the right wall, or you can look down. Reverse warrior. On an inhale, return to your warrior two. Find your drishti gaze over your left middle finger. Relax your shoulders down. Bend your left elbow and bring your left forearm to the middle of your left thigh. As you tip to the left with a light touch, and inhale, sweep your right arm up and overhead. Your palm of the right hand faces the earth, so you can continue its extended side angle. Pressing, nice. Keep both shoulders stacked, so the right shoulder over the left. Roll that open a little. You can look to the right, you can look down, or you can look up. Palm faces the earth. There we go. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Sweep that back arm to the back of the room, front arm. Very nice. Spiral your hands down to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Walk your dog. Find your breath. Find your focus. If you need a pause, you come to knees and child's pose. Otherwise, we're going to rise the right leg up, your right leg up and back, and step it through between both hands. As you come up, you spin your back heel down and rise to warrior two on your second side. Your heels are lined up, so you can take a peek. It's either heels lined up or the arch of your back foot and the front heel. Straighten your back leg. Add that bend in your front knee, but never passing your ankle. Reach for the front of the room with your fingers. Reach for the back. Relax the shoulders down. Warrior two. Drishti gaze. A focused gaze just over your fingertips. Reversing the warrior. Lower your back hand down. Sweep that upper hand up and over, and the palm is, you can face, the back of the room, or your arm is straight up. So you could choose how high you come towards the back of the room, but keep your back leg straight, keep your back arm relaxed on the thigh, keep your front knee bent. Inhale, bring it back to warrior two. So lifting that back arm up, front arm, at a bend in your right elbow, bring the right forearm to your right thigh lightly. Inhale, sweep that left arm up and over so that your bicep is near your ear, and look to your left, or look down. Your right palm can face up if you want to give it some action. There's a light, not dumping into that front elbow onto your thigh, but lifting and lengthening. Extended side angle, pressing from your left heel all the way through your left fingertips, and finding your breath. Inhale, coming back to warrior two. Shoulders relaxed. Really reach with intention. And then spiral the hands back down and out again. So just cartwheel the hands down, step back to downward dog. Make it your pose. Little movement is fine here. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. Exhale, come to the top of your mat. And halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up overhead. Lengthen up, reach up. Hands to prayer. Samasthiti at your heart center. Mountain pose, Tadasana. So we come to tree pose next. Tree pose, bring your feet all the way together. If you're a seasoned yogi, if you're just beginning, maybe you have a little space between. So, and in tree pose, bring your hands to prayer at your heart center. Or option, hands to hips. Here or here. Root and ground through your feet. Perhaps you have your feet like we did in chair pose too. You can have big toes touch your heels just slightly apart. Really feel that. Rooting through your feet, and bring your energy into your left leg. Stabilize to your left leg. Keep it a little soft. And lift your right knee up, bring it towards your chest. And then out to the side. So up towards your chest, out to the side, and you can place the sole of your foot anywhere on your standing leg except for the knee. It can go high, it can go into the thigh, or it can lower out of the calf, or maybe a kickstand. So your heel of your right foot is touching the ankle of the left, and your big toe is down. Eyes open and breathe. Lift more through the crown of your head, and let your tree grow if you want. Arms up, upward salute, or like tree branches out to the sides, or like a moving tree. And then gradually make your way back to hands at heart center. So there's a little movement. Slowly release that right leg back down to meet the left, and we move to our second side. Root and ground through your right leg. So that's your stabilizing side. Hands to heart center or hands to your hips, and bring your left knee into your chest. So rise it high, and here if you like, you can hold and bring it into your lifted leg, or you can just have low or low. So you choose. Try not to bend over to find your ankle. Bring your knee to you. Hands to heart center. Stabilizing, center line, root through your right leg. Grow your tree any direction you like. Maybe you want to stay right here. And a low tree is always good too. If you fall out, you come back in. Feel your breath. Grow through the crown of your head. Your standing leg is like your roots of a tree. And the top is like lifting and growing up, lengthening through the crown of your head. And slowly bring your hands back to your heart center and release your leg back down. Leading both legs. Warrior two once again. So find yourself on the mat. Because sometimes when people step off the mat because it is more stability when you're on the hard floor. Okay. Tadasana, mountain pose. Step back to warrior two. Right foot steps back. You line your heels or the arch of the back foot. Open your arms wide. Gazing over your drishti. Your drishti gaze over your left middle finger. Straightening the back leg. Press through that back foot. Now straighten your right leg. Let your palms face the wall with the lights on it here. And tip so that you're coming to triangle, trikonasana. Your left hand comes to meet about the left shin or maybe the knee, and your right hand sweeps up. You're stacking your shoulders and your hips. Point your fingertips to the sky, so straight up, yes. And straighten your lower arm. Lift up more than lower down, so grow taller. Your hand does not need to touch the floor, and the back of your left hand can press into your left shin or thigh. Yes, open the chest. Trikonasana. Triangle. My favorite. Add a bend in your front knee and come back to your warrior two. Ooh. Step your left toes to point to the wall with the legs on it here. And pigeon toe your feet. Release your hands to your hips. Heels line up and you're pigeon toeing. So find a wide stance you feel comfortable in, but it's a little bit of a challenge. Toes are closer than your heels. Toes are closer to each other, heels are wider out. Very nice. Hands to your hips. Soften your knees, so don't block knees, keep them a little soft. Exhale, bend and come forward from your hips. So come forward and release your hands to the ground, bending the knees enough so your fingertips touch the ground. Shoulders, elbows, wrists. Still pigeon toeing. Wide angle pose. You can let your fingertips touch. If your practice is pretty consistent and you want to hold onto your ankles, you reach one hand to each ankle or shin. Draw your crown of your head towards the earth. Keep your eyes open and move the shoulders away from your ears. And then walk your hands back under the shoulders from wherever they were at. And you're going to spin your right toes to face the back of the room and keep your left foot as it is. So coming to that second side, bending the right knee, keeping your left leg straight. Inhale and rise up. Warrior two on your second side. Right arm extends, left arm extends, shoulders relax. You're facing your chest and your hips to the light side of the room. Bend your front knee, press into your back leg. Triangle pose on this side. Straighten your front leg. Both legs are straight. Palms face the wall that's right in front of you, the left side of the room right now. Palms face that side. And tip from your hip and begin to bring your right hand to meet your about a knee shin area. Lift up with your left, stacking. So from your left fingertip to your right, and look at the wall, or look to the floor, or look to your lifted hand. Breathe. Don't press into your leg at all. If you need a block, you can have a block to stabilize, but more about coming up. Come up. Lift like you're trying to touch the sky with your left fingers. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Bend your front knee. like stabilizing. Take the bend out of your front knee as you rotate your toes to point to the left. The right toes point to the left, coming back to wide angle pose. Line your heels, very important. Pigeon toe your feet. Soften your knees, hands to your hips, and drop in. So you come down so the shoulders are over the hips. Does that feel good? Rosalie? Does that feel good?
Yeah,
That's
you
good.
tell.
So hands under the shoulders, I saw that. And then maybe you want to stay here, or maybe you want to this time do something different with your hands. With soft knees, you can shoot your hands through just enough so the palms face up maybe, and the back of your hands lie down. Never pressing the crown of the head into the mat. Or maybe you hold your ankles. Feel your breath. This is an inversion, so be aware of eyes open and a good breath. Bring your hands back into the shoulders. Lengthen your spine, so lift up a little bit. Bring your left toes to point to the front of the room, so you're walking them in. We're going to come to a downward facing dog, so go ahead and just walk your hands to frame that front foot. Skip your left foot back, downward facing dog. Coming to plank pose or high push-up. Chaturanga, halfway down, your elbows come to the side body. You lower to your knees if you like. Top of the feet flatten down. And cobra or upward facing dog, where you straighten your arms in up dog, where you get a little lift of your chest in cobra. You choose. Exhale, return to your downward dog. Tuck your toes, send your tailbone high. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. However you get there, find your forward fold. Find your half lift. Let your head hang. Inhale as you round up. Upward salute. All the way up, hands to prayer, hands to your heart center. Mountain pose, Tadasana. So coming into our eagle pose, which is a favorite pose of balance. Find your feet next to each other. We did eagle arms, now we're going to include the legs. And I like to do the arms first, so inhale, sweep your arms out like the letter T. We're going to cross the right arm under the left, straight at first, and then bend your elbows, bring the back of the forearms to touch, or maybe holding the shoulders is your option. Bend your knees and a little bit of a chair sinking in. Root through your left foot. You're going to rise your right knee and bring your right foot up and over, cross at your thighs. So bend your knee and bring it up on that right side. Lift up and over. Sink as of a chair and point your toes down, or maybe you wrap behind. Eagle pose. Bend your knees more. If you get into it a little bit, sink down into it. Keep your eyes open and gaze forward. On an inhale, you come out. Lift your knee, right knee, bring it down. Release your arms out to the sides. We're going to go right to the second side. So now we sweep the left arm under the right. And create your wrap. Back of the arms, or maybe you lift the elbows. Sit in just a little bit of a chair position, root through your right foot, and this time lift your left knee up and bring your leg over. Put your kickstand down if you want, or continue to wrap around your ankle. Squeeze your thighs to each other. It's about your midline. Keep your eyes open. Inhale as you come out, you lift your left knee up, place it down, and release. Let your ego go. Dancer pose. Look behind you. Make sure you got space. You want to be at the top of your mat. So Tracy, come to the top so you don't kick the wall. Have your feet together, and you might want to do it off the mat. It's a little bit like eagle pose in a sense, and tree pose, that people like stability of the floor. Dancer pose. So let's find your feet close together, because this is our base. All right? If you want a little space, you can. Here's your base. Bring your right arm out to the side like you're holding a tray. Palm facing up. Elbow tuck into your side body. Really bring your elbow in. Like you don't want to drop it, so it's not out here. You want to bring that tuck it in. Nice. That's opening that shoulder. external rotation, opening. Root and ground through your left leg. Press into your left foot. Extend your left arm high overhead. Reach up. Your palm faces the middle of your body. So that whole left side is lifting, rooting through the foot, lifting through the fingertips. Soften your knees a little, and you're going to bend your right knee and bring your right heel to your bum. And reach back, opening your shoulder, elbow facing out. Reach to hold your inner ankle, or possibly reach for the arch of your foot. And lengthen and lift. You can always stay in the pose here. You don't have to go any further. Root and ground and find this balance. Or kick into your back hand, kick more back than dropping forward. Extend your front arm out, draw your knees together. Knees come midline, nice. Find your focus over that. Fingertips in front if you're there. As you come out, slowly reverse that order. Just bring your arm up, release your hand, and be grateful we only have 2 legs. Second side. It'll be easier than the first. Every side is different. Each side is different. Okay. So we're going to root and ground through the right side. Left arm out. Tray. All up. Reach your right arm long and overhead. Really reach. Reach up. Root down. Open your shoulder. External rotation. Elbow opens out to the side. As you bend your left knee, you bring your heel up and reach for your ankle or your arch of your foot. So other way, Joe. Yeah. Roll your elbow out. You want to hold out. Rosalie, out. With your hand. This is in. That's out. There you go. Think of your hand being here, like your elbow open. Lift, lift, lift up, and kick into your back hand. Or maybe just stay here. So find what works for you. Okay. If you're going further, you press into your back hand. You draw your knees in towards each other, kick back more, and begin to tip from your hip. And maybe you look over your fingers. And you come out on an inhale. You inhale and rise everything up. And you exhale and let go. Take an inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Come to the top of your mat. Mountain pose. Round down. So just slowly round all the way down. Forward fold. Place your hands on the mat and step back to your plank. Your top of a push-up. Your choice to lower all the way down. Come all the way down. Rotate your head to one side. Let your palms come off to the sides, facing down. Top of your feet down, big toes point to each other, chin and forehead, so you're in a straight line. On an inhale, you let that airplane fly, locust pose. So inhale, lift up your chest. Have your gaze towards the mat or slightly up. Maybe you lift your feet. Breathe. Big toes point to each other. Reach your fingertips to the back of the room. Palms are facing down. Everything's lifted, all 4 limbs, or your feet are down. Feel the navel coming towards your spine. On an exhale, lower down, turn your head to that opposite side, rotate the palms to face up, find your breath. Everything softens. Coming into bow pose. Find your breath first. In our bow pose, bend your knees, soles of the feet face up the sky, keep your knees down on the ground, but walk your knees a little bit wider and reach to hold your ankles or the top of your feet. It's an external rotation of the shoulder, so you're opening. There you go. Knees wider, it will sometimes allow you to access the hold, okay, each side. Do what you can. So you're holding ankles, or you're holding the top of the feet, or you're taking a break if you need. If you are holding your ankles, flex your feet. Toes, yes, action here. Let your shoulders roll back. Inhale and press into your hands with your feet or ankles and create that lift. Let your chest rise. Bow pose, bow pulling pose. It's a back bend. Draw your knees towards each other more. Pull your knees in. There you go. Feel that engagement. If you're just holding the top of your feet, don't have to flex. And exhale, lower down. Release everything, turn your head to one side. We're going to repeat that again. And if you're struggling with bow pose, you can always just find a child's pose, or you can just windshield wiper your knees side, or your feet side to side, so release your back. That's an option. If you're going to join me for that final bow pose, as we repeat it, bring your spine in line, so your forehead or chin are down, and bend your knees. Maybe you walk your knees a little wider. Reach to hold your ankles, or hold the top of your feet. So taking your knees wide sometimes accesses it. Walk your knees towards each other. Really draw in. There you go. Now, press into your hands with your feet. Press. And lift your thighs. And lift your chin and chest. And create that beautiful bow. Mindful of your neck position. What is comfortable for you? Maybe you look down. Maybe you slightly look up. And you breathe. Knees stay in the direction towards each other. Feel all that action and opening through the chest. And exhale, slowly lower down. Turn your head to one side. Release your palms out to the side, facing up, let go. We're going to make our way back to child's pose. When you're ready, hands under the shoulders, press your hips back, wide child's pose, or anyone you choose. Resting pose this time. Beginning to allow for a little bit more warming, cooling, I should say. You can bring your hands along your side body if you like, and the palms face up. This is just a different version of child's pose. So your arms are under your thighs, and the palms face up, and you're rounding. Inhale as you come up. Let's meet in a seated position, facing the front of the room with your legs extended. Coming into our head to knee pose, Janu Shirsasana. Legs extended, bring your feet and right next to each other. So the arches are next to each other. Flex your feet. Feel that action. Press the heels down. Keep your feet centered. Bring the right knee to bend. Bring the sole of your foot to the mat and draw it into your chest. Give it a hug. Let the right knee come out to the side. Press the sole of your foot into your left inner thigh. Keep that extension of your left leg. So your foot should be straight. Heel pressing down, flexing. Hands next to your sides, and inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Palms face each other. Keep flexing that foot, action in that leg. Navel into the spine, looking straight ahead, and breathing. 10 minutes here. Just kidding. Okay, keep your eyes open. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come halfway down. Reaching over your extended leg. Pause. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. And then round down. Wherever your hands land is where you're going to stay. Maybe you hold your shin or your ankle or your foot. You hold where you choose to, and round, head to knee pose. Flex that foot, left foot, toes towards your shin. Yes, feel that action. On an inhale, you're going to let go of everything and round up. Just round, reverse that, or uncoil, coming back up. As you come up, lift your right knee up, extend your right leg long. We'll go to that second side. Left knee bends, sole of foot down. Let your left knee open out to the side. Sole of your foot into your right thigh. Engage your right leg. So toes towards your shin, heel pressing down, center. Look at your foot. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead, upward salute. Look over your foot. Exhale, halfway lower. Reach on your next inhale. Reach with the inhalation to the front of the room. Exhale, lower all the way. And wherever you land, be kind. You can hold. You can add some intention into the rounding. Flex your right foot. Very good. Maybe you hold your foot. Maybe you just relax and soften everything and bend your elbows. Head to knee pose. On your next inhale, you release and round up. And bringing that left knee up. Extend your left leg long. Flex both feet. Bring your hands to your side hips. So we're in staff pose, Dandasana. Bring your ankle as close as you can to each other, ankle bones. Internal hip rotation. So you feel this action. Flexing your feet, pressing your heels down, looking straight ahead, drishti gaze. So you press into your feet and lengthen your spine. Lift through the crown of your head. So tailbone all the way up, and then just a little tuck of the chin, just to open the back of your neck. So if you're lifting up, you're crunching it just slightly and feel the lift right at the back of your neck where it meets the head. Navel into your spine. Feel all that engagement? This is not a resting pose. Staff pose. Dandasana. Keep the legs active here. Inhale, open the eyes, sweep the hands up and overhead, reach up. Exhale, halfway down. Keep your feet flexing. Inhale, reach more. Exhale, forward fold. Yes, now both knees, both legs straight, forward fold with both legs straight, head to knee pose. You can hold shins, you can keep your feet active, please. Heels pressing down, toes towards you. Feel that. Draw yourself forward. You can use arm strength if you choose, where your elbows come to the mat, or in that direction. Nice. Or you can soften everything. Seated forward fold. As you come out, release, soften, and round up. Round up. Oh, half lord of the fishes. Right knee bends, and you bring the sole of the foot to the mat. So bring the knee into your chest. Really bring it in. Give it a hug. That's nice to your back. And as you release, you're going to bring the sole of your right foot over the knee of your left side. Knee or a little bit left, creating some space here. Left elbow is going to come around and hold on to the right knee. Right arm is going to reach up to the sky and face the right side of the room. And bring your right hand down to be a kickstand behind you. Sweep it down to the mat and let your shoulder open, so that right shoulder opens, palm down, or maybe you make a fist. Really draw in with your left hand. You have an option here. Your left hand can reach up to the sky also, and then you bring the back of your left upper arm across your right thigh. So you can sweep your right arm up and sweep it across, creating your twist. Palm can face away or palm can come to your heart center. Stay active in your extended leg. Flex that foot. Uncoil, unwind. Come to facing the front. Release that side. So second side, bend your left knee. Bring it in, hug it, step it over the right knee. So it doesn't have to come very close in. If you got stuff, you got to move around to get into a twist. Just saying. You choose. So we're on our second side. I'm going to start different on this side. I'm going to have you build your kickstand first. So your left hand is going to come around behind you and come to the mat. Open, open the shoulder. Your right hand is going to reach up to the sky, come across, reach towards the left side of the room, and the back of your arm is going to be used as a leverage to keep you in your twist. Lift through the crown of your head. Your back hand's a kickstand. Right palm faces away, or maybe it comes to your heart center. Your extended leg is active. Flex. Very good. Press the center heel down. Nice. Lift through the crown of your head. Oh, you all grew. Relax. Inhale and unwind. So as you come out of our half floor to the fishes, you're going to come down to the mat. Yes, you are going to lower down and be on your back. And as you're on your back here, knees are bent, soles of your feet down. I want you to feel your spine from where the back of your head is touching, down through your shoulders, down through your middle back, down through your tailbone. Tailbone. Just feel that. You're going to lift your knees up and draw them into your armpits area and hold the back of your thighs. And feel your tailbone. It's maybe lifting because it does round, but keep the length in your spine. Coming to happy baby. If you want to stay with just holding your thighs, or you come to knees even wider, coming outside your ribs, and your hands come inside of your bent knees, and you hold your ankles, or you hold your big toes, or you hold your feet. Lengthen your spine. So this is about low back moving down. And if you want to move a little, most babies move when they're in this position. You can do what feels right to you in your happy baby as we come near the end of our practice. The back of your head rests down. Like I said, you can always just hold the back of your thighs anywhere you can reach. As you come out of this, you keep your feet lifted. Release your hands if you're holding, and have your heels up, knees into the chest. You can use your arms. Have your knees in the chest a little bit. Now release your arms like airplanes out to the side, like a T, and let your knees drop to the right. So they're staying lifted and then dropping to the earth, wherever they land. They may come away from your body a bit, but we started with them in, so you may feel this rotation through the middle back. If you like, you can look away from your bent knees. So creating more opening through the spine. Be gentle. This is the softening down. If you bring your right hand on your left thigh, let it just barely lay there. Don't pull. Resist that urge. Let the shoulders relax down. On an inhalation, change sides. So bringing the knees up and over your body, near your chest, and then slowly coming to your left side, or the other side. Your other left, whatever side you run, just opposite. Arms are extended so your shoulders can be heavy, but if one lifts, don't fret over that. And you can always look up to the sky, or you can look to that place away from your bent knees. Feel what is right for you today. Eyes closed down, softening the breath, nasal breath. On an inhale, bring yourself back up. So the soles of the feet are down, the knees are pointing up. If you're honoring your low back, you keep your knees bent. And maybe you walk your feet a little wider on your mat and let your knees drop towards each other, creating like a tenting sensation. The big toes point to each other. Heels are a little wider if you're staying in knee pose. But they don't have to press together. They just kind of drop. It's a supported position. Option, extend your legs long, one by one. Take your time. As you extend your legs, there's hip distance between them. Eyes are closed down, coming into our resting pose, Shavasana. Maybe you want to bring your hands to rest on your belly. One hand low on the abdomen, one a little bit higher, near the lower rib area. Elbows are touching on the mat. Bring your focus back to the breath and how it sounds. Your natural, soft breath. If this is not comfortable for you, find a comfortable position that's effortless. Be present for a few moments of your day, just with your breath, your mind, here, with your breath, with your body. Soften your jaw. Maybe swallow to relax your throat. Or maybe wiggle your eyebrows, relax your forehead. Each inhalation bringing fresh energy in. Each exhalation letting go. If you had an intention or devotion on your next inhalation, bringing that devotion, sankalpa, in with your breath from your heart, bringing it, drawing into your mind, into your whole body. And exhale, letting it go out to the universe. Releasing that seed, that thought, that action. Just taking your time as you come out of your resting pose, just slowly come back into your day with some movement that's easy. Maybe it's just your neck movement, maybe it's toes or fingers, maybe it's a big, good morning stretch. Legs extending, arms extending with kindness. And eventually, you're going to roll to your favorite side. Just take a few breaths in that sideline pose, support your head with your underarm. Eventually, you make your way up to a seated pose, any that you like, with or without a block. Just find your seat for the day this morning. Once you're there, you close your eyes down. You bring your hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. You feel the length in your spine from the tailbone through the sacrum, low back, middle back, upper back, crown of the head, with a slight lowering of the chin. Feel the length in your neck with kindness. In Sanskrit, there's a phrase I'm going to close the class with, and it means, may all beings be happy and free. And feel free to join in if you're familiar with it. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Keeping the eyes closed down, we'll just rise our hands to third eye in the middle of the forehead. As we Om together, take an inhale and an exhale to prepare. Exhale. And then we Om together. Inhale. And bowing down in gratitude. Namaste.
Namaste.
Have a wonderful day. Now that was an hour and a half.
Good job. Awesome.
Did you get warm?